Hey guys, so today we're doing another tag and I'm really excited, nervous, because I'm afraid to get emotional, but I really am excited to do this tag. So this is called, this is the Pregnancy, Childbirth, and Motherhood tag. And the person who started this, her name is Juli, and her channel is A Beautiful Horizon. So I'll be sure to tag her channel down below in her video as well. So it's a series of questions all about your experience as a mother in your childbirth, and it's nothing too graphic, so don't really worry about it. And I'm nervous, so I'm not gonna ramble anymore. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. And now if you want to see my experience with motherhood, then just keep watching. Question number 1. How old were you when you had your first child? So I was 30. My birthday is in June and James was born in November. Question number 2. What was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months? I really didn't have a really difficult pregnancy. I enjoyed being pregnant. But I really had my sciatic nerve really hurt me the whole entire 9 months. Like not even as I got bigger, literally hurt me from the start. So, and it still hurts me to this day. I have like a lot of back problems. So that was the most difficult because you're carrying so much weight and you can't really sit still or walk too much or sit too much. It was so uncomfortable no matter what I was doing. Question number 3. Can you think of any good thing you enjoyed during those 9 months? Oh, I enjoyed so many things. I enjoyed being pregnant. I think I felt great the first time around. The second time around, I didn't feel so great. In the beginning, but then I felt okay afterwards. I enjoyed how happy I was. I really felt full, you know, like I felt like I was fulfilled. So that was my main thing. I felt pretty, I felt happy. It was during a really hard time in my life. The first time around, I had lost my mom the year before in October, and then I found out I was pregnant in around March, I believe. So a few months later, and that literally is just like, it made me happy. I would wake up and I remember just like thinking, wow, there's a little life inside of me. And I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. And it's just one of the main things. I really, really enjoyed being pregnant. Question number 4. In your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate? No, I don't think so, because everyone's so different, you know. I heard it all. I heard really horror stories. Unfortunately, I know a lot of, you know, quite a few of my friends have had a lot of miscarriages, so I've heard that side as well. A few of my friends had trouble getting pregnant, so I've heard everything. I remember when my mom had my brother, I was 16, so I remember her being pregnant. You know, I remember everything she went through. You can't really judge what's gonna happen to you because of someone else's, you know, experience. Question number 5. Would you have handled childbirth different if you could redo it? No, I gave my all. I did my best, and no, I wouldn't have handled anything differently. Maybe I would have like taken more time to heal and like not. I have this like front that I put on, like I can handle everything, and then inside I'm like falling apart. So maybe I would have done that even the first time around and the second time around. But other than that, I feel like I did my best. Question number 6. What would be your advice for someone who is about to have a baby? Don't be so hard on yourself. Take all the help you can get because you will need it. If possible, have friends or family around you at all times, people that you can really trust, and be yourself and be comfortable. Try to remember that everything is a phase, and I feel like you have to remember that forever, not as a new parent. Just take your time. Take your time to find yourself again, you know? I think that people expect everybody to like bounce back and like, oh, look at me, like it's been 2 months and I'm already back. Like, no, don't compare yourself. Just take your time, enjoy your own experience in your path, and change what you can or what you want to change, but don't worry about guidelines or stuff like that. Just do what you think is best for you and your baby. Question number 7. What has been the hardest thing about being a mom? I don't want to cry. Okay, hold on. So the hardest thing, the number one thing for me, has been being a parent without having a parent. And it kind of like intertwines with the fact that I'm still grieving, you know, the loss of my mom, even though it's been 6 years already. I'm only human, and I know, as much as I try not to think like this, I know that if she was here, I don't know if I can say this. I know that if she was here, my kids would be happier. Because I have really hard days, and I know that has to impact them. And I really believe that if she was here, they would just be happier because I would be happy. Lately, my oldest son, James, he is 5, and him and we have been really fighting every day. We just bump heads all day long, every day. Sometimes from the moment we wake up until he goes to school, and I love that kid so much, but I don't know what I have to for that not to happen. He pushes my buttons in a way that I become like this, like, I feel like I become a monster. Like I yell and I lose my patience, and then when I put him to sleep, I look at him and I'm like, you're just a kid, you know? I don't want him to grow up like this. But then he says really like mean stuff sometimes, and he literally makes me cry and lose my, you know, he makes me lose it every day. And I feel really bad. And this has been the hardest thing for me. The hardest. Because the first one, I know I can't change it. But this one, I want so badly to change it. And I don't know how. And it eats me away every single day. Holy cow. Those are the things that I think about on a daily basis, and it's really hard to say them out loud. Like, those are like my really personal thoughts. So that was rough. Question number 8. What has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? When I see my oldest being nice to someone without me having to ask, I'm like, yes, I'm so proud. Like, that's really rewarding to me. Obviously when he does good in school, or when he's just being like happy, like that's rewarding. You know, you want to see your kids happy all the time, every single day. And for me personally, I feel like the most rewarding thing about being a mom is, it's been like, it gave me this confidence, you know. Like I was telling my friend the other day, I said, I am a mom of 2. I do this all, my husband helps, obviously, I am married, but he has to work and I stay home. But I'm here most of the time, handling 2 kids on my own. Nobody can F with me, you know, like it gave me that confidence, because you really do, after you handle all of this, you feel like you can handle anything life throws at you. So that has been very rewarding, because I've never felt like that about myself. I've never felt so confident about the person that I am. Like I can handle things, or I can do that, or, you know, that has been really, really rewarding to me for sure. Question number 9. What was the most surprising thing you discovered about being a mom that maybe you won't be your kid's favorite person? I know that for James, his dad is his favorite person. He loves him. He laughs with him all day long, and he can't do no wrong. No wrong. Question number 10. What was the best memory you have involving your child? Aside from like the obvious ones, obviously, like, you know, seeing them for the first time was just magical. When James started walking, I was very like, I remember that day very well. I don't know, there's so many. I feel sometimes within myself, I don't like to set up these like huge events because I'm afraid to fail. So I try to find the best memories, even if it's like something little every day, if that makes sense. Because I feel like whenever I'm like, okay, today we're gonna go here, then, you know, one wakes up in the wrong side of the bed and it's cranky, or the other one is just sick, or whatever it may be. So I try to just make small but valuable memories as often as I can. Question number 11. What was the most exciting milestone? Seeing your child walk is really mind-blowing. Because you just look at them, you're like, wow, you were just a baby, look at you now, you're walking, you know. Or seeing them like eating, you know, like when they're like experiencing like the first foods and stuff like that. When they get their teeth, it's always so cute, and like they just start to look so different, you know. Anything that they do, it's pretty freaking cool. Question number 12. What is the worst thing your child has ever done? I can't really speak for Max because he's only a baby, but as for James, I don't know. I can't think of something terrible that he did, but just, you know, things that kids do, all kids do. Question number 13. What habit do you wish your child didn't have? I really wish James wouldn't talk back. That to me is the number one thing that ticks me off. I was never allowed to talk back to my mom. I wouldn't even dare talk back to my mom. She was an amazing person and a very open, cool parent, but we had a respect line that was a very, like, don't ever cross that. And talking back was something I never done. And James talks back to me all day long. And it's really hard to deal with. So that's it for him. For Max, I don't know. He's only a baby. I wish he would sleep more. Question number 14. What habit of theirs makes you really proud? James is really polite. Not with me personally, but when he's with other people in school as well, like he's very polite. He always says please and thank you and here, let me help you. Like he's he's a nice kid. He has a kind heart. Whenever I see him being kind, it makes me really proud. Question number 15. Do you share any similarities with your child, both physical and personality? I can see a lot of myself in James. I really do. I'm not like the easiest person to be around, and I do have a big mouth. I can see that we're both stubborn. With Max, I feel like at the same time, like Max is really chill. He's like calm. As long as he's with me, he's fine. You know, everything is okay if I'm holding him. And he can kind of just like sit and observe things, and I like to observe things. So I think that's what we share. Neither of them have my blue eyes. James used to have curly hair, which I have curly hair, but he doesn't have that anymore. What else? I think that's it. Question number 16. Where would you like your child to be in 10 years? I was just thinking about that the other day. In 10 years, James will be 15. When I was 15, I did not get along with my mom. So I hope he's not there still. I hope that, you know, his teens are not brutal like they are for most teenagers. I feel like the world is so hard nowadays, you know, the world, it's so harsh, and we have to have like a thick skin from the get-go, and I hope he's not there. But so I hope he's happy, I hope he's confident, I hope he's thriving in whatever it is that he likes to do. I will always support him. And for Max will be almost 11 because he's almost 1. So in 10 years he'll be almost 11. I just hope he's a happy child. I hope he likes going to school. I hope he has friends. You know, they're both so young. I just hope they are happy and healthy and safe. That's all I can wish for them at all times. Question number 17. What is something having a child has taught you? Oh my gosh, there's so many things. It really makes your fears so much bigger. As much as I am in charge of my kids in a way, I am their parent, I make decisions for them, yada yada yada, I have no control. And that is so heart-wrenching sometimes because you want to control everything. You want to protect them at all times. But, you know, they grow up. They have to go to school. You don't see them for hours. And you're just like, like, what's happening to him? Is he okay? Is someone picking on him? You know, like, is he safe? It's just something that is always on your mind, you know? I am that kind of mom that I go inside their room and I watch them breathe. If you're a mom, you know what I mean. I go in there and I just watch them breathing so peacefully. Because I know they're safe. I know they're, you know, I can control that. Like, I'm here. Nothing is ever gonna happen to them if I'm here, you know? It has taught me to be kinder to myself, because as a mom, you beat yourself up 24/7. So I am trying. That's all I can do is try to be kind to myself every day. But really, it has been one of the biggest lessons, just to know that you do your best, you give everything you have and then some, and then you go to sleep and you always feel like you didn't do enough, or that you did something wrong, or whatever it may be. But when that thought comes in, you have to tell yourself, stop it. Stop it. You're exhausted. You cleaned, you cooked, you played, you sang songs, you bathed them, you did everything. Just put your pajamas, go relax on the couch, have a glass of wine, or not, or whatever. Watch a movie, watch a TV show that you can't watch when they're around, and just stop it. Like, they're healthy, they're alive. That's all you can do. That's it. Question number 18. Did you imagine you would be a mom at the age you became a mom? No. If I can be very honest, I didn't even know I wanted to be a mom. Because of what I mentioned before, I remember when my mom had my brother, you know, I was 16, and I remember how hard it was for her, on her body, on her mind, and I just remember thinking like, wow, I don't know if I want that, you know. Granted, I love my brother. You know, he was like the best person ever, but I don't know if I wanted that for me. You know, you have so many things that you have to think about all the time, and it's just draining. So I didn't think I was gonna become a mom at the time. But my God, I'm gonna cry again. As you can see, losing my mom crushed me, and it still crushes me every day. Having him made me have a reason to get up in the morning. Having him made me happy again. And even though a big part of me was still so sad and grieving, it was because of him, because he came to me in my life at the time that he did. It was because of him that this is why I was nervous about doing this video. I have to like stop and just get myself together. He really gave me a reason to like find life and happiness again. And I'm very thankful for that. No matter how hard our days are and how much we fight with each other, I look at him and I know in my core, I know that he saved my life. And throughout these years, my husband and I, we did lose quite a few people that were very important for us. And I feel like before Max was born, I was reaching a point again where I was getting comfortable, because James was very like becoming independent, and I was getting comfortable again being sad. And I'm so thankful that he came in my life, because he's the best baby. I feel so lucky, and I know that it's not like this for a lot of people. I know that it's not easy for a lot of people. Sorry. I really feel like my kids saved my life, and they continue to do so every day. I have a saying, I always say that they are my everyday gifts. You know, I don't need anything. They are my everyday gifts. When they wake up in the morning and I open their door, I have my gifts waiting for me every day. Okay, this is gonna be a mess. Question number 19. Describe your child in a single sentence. Whenever I think of James, I just think of strong. He's so strong. He really is. He is strong and tough and bright and funny. He really, he will make anybody smile. anybody. And Max, whenever I think of Max, he is just sweet, and I don't know, he literally looks at everyone just like with the best intention. Like you can see, it's almost like you can see his thoughts behind his little eyes. He's just so soft and calm, you know, and he just wants to look around. He's just happy to be alive. There you go. Now you can be on camera too. Alright, so question number 20, and this is the final question. How have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? Oh man, how have I not changed? I think that when you become a mom, you have to kind of like, I don't want to sound like a downer, but you kind of have to like mourn the loss of that person that you were before. And that's not a bad thing. I mean that in a way that becoming a mother changes you completely. You know, the same way when you lose a person that you love so much changes you to your core, becoming a mom changes you. Like changes literally who you are entirely. The way you think, the way you eat, the way you walk outside, the way you leave your house, you know, maybe like the clothes that you wear. I don't know. It really does change you, and it's not a bad thing. It's just what happens. At least this is my experience. I think that being a mom changes a person, making them more aware of everything, the good and the bad. You know that the little things become big things. And you also know, and that also goes for the bad stuff, you know. You are literally afraid of everything and everyone and all the things that could happen to them, you know. When it comes to motherhood, it's really tough for me because I still hold my mom to such high standards, you know. She was the best mother, and I don't feel like that. So it's hard for me. All I can do is hope that I'm a good mom, and that has to be enough for me to go to sleep with every day. I know that as a parent, when your kids are, you know, not behaving or I don't know, or going through a tough time, I know that it's so much easier to be like, oh, everything is my kid's fault. And that's not what I'm saying here. Even on our toughest days, they are the best thing that has ever happened to me. That is it for today. This is probably going to be a super long video, but I really wanted to film this and have this documented, and maybe in 10-15 years my kids will watch this. Who knows? That was cool. Good. Did you get in trouble? Nope.
Jumpy, jumpy, jump. Jumpy, jump.
Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.